Hey, how you doing? This is Chris. Welcome back to Equalize Sound and Auto Repair. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to the channel if you haven't been here before. Today I'm working on a 2007 Jeep Compass, getting ready to do a tune-up on the 2.4 liter. And let's go over some of the tools you're gonna need real quick. You're gonna need a T30 bit, and that is to get the coil pack bolts off. A T30, you're gonna need some type of socket. This is a 5/8 spark plug socket. You will need one of those, or you can go with a standard long 5/8, but I recommend you go with this the socket. You're gonna need some type of ratchet wrench. Okay, so 3/8 ratchet and extension. You should be able to get this job done pretty quickly. So let's get to the process. All right. All right, so we got the engine set up here. Let's move this down for you guys to see. And let's tilt the camera some. There she is, the engine, the 2.4. All right, so just in case yours does have an engine cover, you got 4 corners here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You just pop up your cover, move it out the way, and you have access to all 4 of your coil packs, which spark plugs underneath. So this process is pretty easy. Similar all across the board with 2.4 liter motors. So it's going to be pretty much the same process. I'm not doing this the slow way, so I'm going to do it the fast way, the way I like to do it. Do it fast, but don't rush. Don't rush anything. Always test your wrenches, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So we're getting ready to loosen these up with the T30. Just loosen them up. But yeah, you want to do a tune-up every 75 to 100,000 miles. If you haven't done one and you have a used vehicle, I recommend you do one ASAP. That's one of the first things that I do, tune up, oil change, brakes. And you got 4 of your wire clips here. You just push these down and they slide out just like this. And you wiggle these after you get them out. Finish them up, got the good old Milwaukee 3/8. Pull those out, put them in our magnet tray. Don't lose them. Always make sure your socket is set before you start doing this. You'll strip out your bolts and then you'll have a headache in the future. So I usually just take all the bolts out first all the way across. You can't mess these up because they're right there. There's no wires. They're coils. So sometimes your coils might get stick. If they do or not, give them a little wiggle and pull. One out, same thing. You can kind of check them if it has a little oil on it. Means it might need a valve cover soon. This one looks okay, but it will need one eventually in the future. But all these are dry, so yeah, all these are dry, so your valve cover's good. So we pop all those out. Got all those out the way. Now we start with the 3/8. Well, 3/8 ratchet and the 5/8 spark plug wire. Ratchet, bolt, socket, all that stuff. And you don't force it. Torque them a little bit. They should break freely. Sometimes they're not. They don't. And I've had headaches with some that don't, but you should always do it on the warm engine. I've had experience with certain people telling me that spark plugs have broke off into the engine. And that's because they were working on a cold engine. So you can use one of these. You don't have to, but if you do, go slow coming out because you could strip the thread. So just go slow coming out. That's one. And this car has about 182,000 miles on it. And we're gonna use some anti-seize on there to keep the plugs nice and loose where they don't seize up when it's time to do the tune-up again. So, let's grab these plugs. And we with the NGK, top of the line, go with the NGK Iridiums. These are rated for 5 to 7 years, so 75 to 100,000 miles plus. So we're gonna go NGK all the way across. So I'm just gonna take all the rest of these out and start preparing the plugs. I usually listen to music, but all this copyright shit these days, I ain't play it. It makes the day go better. Music does. Music does. Man, that should be good. And all the spark plugs look great, meaning they have no oil on them or anything, so the valve cover is in good shape. So we got 4 over here. We're gonna grab some plugs and the anti-seize, and we're gonna put them in one at a time. New plugs, they already pre-gapped, so you don't have to use any gapper or anything. Already factory gap. Just a little bit. You don't need to glob it a lot. Just a little bit, because it's gonna rotate. Thread in, and I usually just let it slide right there. That's one. A little bit on each of them, just so they don't seize up, because it's gonna go for another 75 plus 1,000 miles. That's 2. Some people don't do it this way, but ain't no sense to going slow. But pretty much same process. Some stuff is in the way of other stuff and different makes and models, but you're usually gonna have them across the top on 2.4. So a little bit of that. Lid for that, and take your time. It ain't no rush, you know. Especially when you got some music, it go even better. It's nice and smooth with the tunes. So, all right. So after you drop them in, you want to hand tighten them. Make sure the threads are lined up and going like they're supposed to, because you definitely don't want to cross thread these. And we're just gonna hand tighten them all the way down. Sometimes it's not smooth like this, but these are going in real smooth. So, getting them all down. And it doesn't take a lot of torque to tighten these, so I'm gonna use my small stubby. Otherwise, you'll need a torque wrench to make sure you have the specification, but it's usually just a 1/4 of a turn after you get them tight. So. There we go. It's tight. Let's double check. All right, it's tight. And I'm using the stubby so I don't over torque it. The stubby helps versus having a long ratchet. And definitely don't use an impact or one of these putting them back in. Definitely don't. All right, so we got those in. You're gonna do that in reverse, dropping your coils packs back in. And this is the tune-up process, changing the plugs on a 2007 Jeep Compass 2.4 liters. So we're gonna connect these back, put the bolts in. Hopefully this video helped you out. This is Chris with Equalize Sound and Auto Repair. Please like and subscribe, and hope to catch you on the next video. Thanks and peace.